What is happening, everyone? It is your boy Brad here. Welcome along to the Big Brad channel. And this is a weird one because usually I wouldn't usually be broadcasting at this time in the morning, but I am. I just thought I'd do a video basically giving my thoughts on the situation of what is going on in terms of like the January transfer window as a whole. My thoughts in general about the January transfer window as a whole. Now, my overall view of our transfer window, Arsenal's January transfer window, is that I am happy with it. I am absolutely happy with it. Yes, we came out of it not spending millions and millions and millions, but we spent in the right areas, and that's exactly what you need to do in terms of the January transfer window. You're not going to get massive deals done, like some clubs do get their deals done, like massive deals, like if you look at Chelsea getting Enzo Fernandez for over 120 million euros. But we did it the right way, I think. I think we did it the right way, and we went about it in the correct manner. But the signings that we made were Jorginho from Chelsea for £12 million, Leandro Trossard from Brighton for £27 million, and then Jakub Kiwior from Spezia for just above 20 million as well. So overall, I'm not disappointed with the transfer window. I'm happy with the business that we've done, but we did miss out on a few targets. I would like to go into that and talk about that. Starting off with the Mykhailo Mudryk situation. Now, everyone knows what happened here. He was literally on his knees begging for Arsenal to sign him. But it didn't materialise, it did not happen, due to the fact that we did not want to pay what Chelsea were paying for him and the wages that they were going to pay for him. It was at the 11th hour when Chelsea came knocking and hijacked the bid for Mykhailo Mudryk, and we had a deal in place. He'd agreed terms on a contract worth way less than what he's on at Chelsea now, and they offered significantly more money for like up front, and Shakhtar, that's exactly what they wanted. They wanted a bidding war, and we were not prepared to go into a bidding war with Chelsea, so we backed away from negotiations, and we ended up going with our plan B option, which was indeed Leandro Trossard for 27 million, much cheaper, Premier League experience, not the household name that you would have expected and the Arsenal fans didn't expect, but we're going to get on board with it, of course we are. And then rolling on nicely to the Moises Caicedo deal. Now, again, everyone knows the full details of what happened, but if you're new to this and you don't know what's happened, I will brief you on the situation. So basically we had two bids rejected, one of 60 million plus 5 million add-ons, and then we had another bid of 65 plus 5 million add-ons to make it up to 70, rejected. Brighton wanted above 80 million for him, which I think is disgusting. Even Moises himself had put out a very interesting little post on his Instagram, basically thanking the club and saying that he was ready for the next step in his career, but Brighton said no, they stuck by their guns, they didn't want to sell. So again, we just decided, well, we're not going to try and go after you, so we chose the cheaper alternative, and it is another Chelsea player in Jorginho. We spent 12 million on him, 10 million to start with, 2 million in add-ons. 1.5 year deal with the option of another year. Not the household name that you'd want, but it will do. It will do for now. I mean, we've got the summer. We could get a new number 6 then, but until that comes, Jorginho will be a key asset to our team, and coming off the bench especially to slow games down, etc., he will do the job. And then Jakub Kiwior was one of those out of nowhere transfers that no one even knew about, because we weren't even linked to any centre-backs But it's a good signing because we needed a left-sided centre-back. We needed one. And I was begging for one at the beginning of the window. I said, why are we not going after a left-sided centre-back to cover Gabriel? If Gabriel gets injured, we're stuck in that position. Because Mikel, he likes to utilise the left side for left footers and the right side for right footers. So it's a good signing overall. But for me, the window gets an 8 out of 10 for me. Like I said, we didn't get the household names that we wanted, but we got some names. We got some game players who will come in and do a job, and that's exactly what I'm happy about. Now I would like to touch on a little subject that's been doing the rounds. Chelsea. Let's talk about them and their erratic spending. I mean, Todd Boehly has only been in the job, 7 months now? He came in the summer, and he's done an absolute madness in the Premier League. He's spent over £600 million. 600 mil within 2 transfer windows. I mean, what could possibly go wrong? I mean, he has literally it's just madness what they are doing in terms of their overall erratic spending. And eventually I think it's going to catch up to them. I mean, they spent 120 million on Enzo Fernandez, they spent 88 on Mudryk, they spent 35 million on Badiashile, they spent on youngsters like Santos and Fofana, who aren't even going to get anywhere near the team. But the one thing that makes me laugh about this whole situation is the fact that they can only register 3 of those signings, and it's mad. It's mad that they spent this kind of money to drop key players who they bought in the summer to then having to utilise those signings. I mean, it's just mad. I mean, Chelsea have just gone on a full-blown madness and just splashed out lots and lots of money. It's like Tom Boehly's just sat there playing Football Manager and he's just bought everything in sight. I mean, yeah, it can work to a certain degree if you're sensible with it, which Chelsea clearly weren't. They weren't sensible with it at all. They've bought players on merit. Basically, the Mudryk situation for me was down to the fact that Tom Boehly saw us bidding for him, and he thought, well, why not? Why not just go in, gazum parcel, and blow them out of the water? And that's exactly what they did. And they basically kind of did the same with Enzo Fernandez. I mean, he's not worth that release clause at all. He's nowhere near worth that release clause. He only got reconciliation because of his World Cup trade, because of his World Cup performances. I mean, he isn't a name what was bought as the next big thing. I mean, it was only because of his World Cup that he became Young Player of the Tournament that Chelsea saw something in him and actually wanted to buy him for that release clause, which is a British transfer record. It gazumps Jack Grealish's £100 million transfer to Manchester City. But I mean, Graham Potter today, I saw his press conference, and he said it was creative the way that they went about it. Creative? I'm thinking to myself, okay, it's a bit random, like, but to say that, but it's not creative. It's just called you just wanting to splash out money, Todd Boehly trying to be an impressive owner. But it could catch up to him, I'm telling you, because if FFP, if it gets to the end of the season and Chelsea have not qualified for the Champions League, they are in serious trouble. They are in serious trouble with FFP. But they found the loophole. They found a loophole within the system, and that's why they are getting away with it, with FFP rules. And just to bring you up to speed about what this loophole is, basically Chelsea are offering players long-term contracts, 7 to 8 years, to spread the cost of the transfer fee over that period of time. Basically, that 121 million that they spent on Enzo will be broken down within the 8 years that he is at Chelsea. That's if he stays for 8 years. But it's a calculated risk by Chelsea, because basically it could backfire, because if these players do not perform to the standards that the fans want, they will want them out, and if they want out, the players, then they're stuck. They're stuck there for at least another, I don't know, it depends if it's a year or two, could be about 6 to 5 years that they're stuck at Chelsea. It's just mad. It's just mad how they're going about it. But the hearing is that UEFA are planning on putting a new rule in where the maximum years allowed to put on contracts is going to be 5 years. You cannot go above 5 years. And I hope they actually do that. But Chelsea have found that loophole. Anyone can do it. Anyone can do it. But Chelsea are just stupid enough to actually do it. So no other clubs have done it. No other clubs have bothered to do it because they're smart with their business. Chelsea are not smart. There is no direction in which Chelsea are going in terms of where they want to be. I mean, they're just splashing for fun. I mean, there's no direction. There's no philosophy. There's nothing. That's what I think, anyway, about Chelsea's transfer window. But I just don't understand how they're doing it. Most fans don't understand how they're doing it. And it's wrong at what they're doing. But let them get on with it. They sit proudly 10th. They're happy with it. So just let them get on with it. It's as simple as that. But like I said, overall, the January transfer window has had its moments in terms of signings that were completely out of nowhere, like the one that happened on deadline day. Joao Cancelo has left Manchester City to go to Bayern Munich on loan with an option to buy for £60 million, or just above £60 million. Madness on Pep Guardiola's side to have gotten rid of probably their best inverted fullback since Zinchenko. Now, the reason why I said Zinchenko's name is because Pep got rid of Zinchenko when I think he shouldn't have done. But it's his loss, our gain, basically. And what it is Joao Cancelo, we all know what happened. There's been arguments with Pep and the fact that he wasn't being played and the lack of minutes. He wasn't happy, so therefore he wanted more minutes. So he's gone to Bayern Munich, and within one game he's already registered an assist. So could it come back to bite Pep in the backside? Who knows? But we shall just have to wait and see what happens in the near future with Joao Cancelo. Now, plenty of other names have been thrown around in terms of like moving around to different clubs, but the one club that really baffled me in terms of their January dealings and business was Everton. Now, they are a mess. They are a shambles, are Everton. They are in an absolute crisis at the moment. And I just don't know where the club's going to go in terms of a direction. But I hope they don't get relegated. But the way they are going and the way things are in terms of like the way that the owner came out and said, personally backed Frank Lampard, saying he's going to back him right to the end of the moon, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, sacked. But it was inevitable. It was inevitable that Frank was going to get sacked. He was going to get the sack, definitely, 100,000,000%. There was no ifs, ands, buts, and maybes about it. It was always inevitable that Frank was going to get the sack. But the owner coming out and actually saying to the fans in an open letter, saying that he was going to personally back him and said he was backing him right to the end of the season. There's no loyalty in football anymore. It's just a shambles. I mean, Dan Juma, he was there. He was there at Everton saying, oh, I'm ready to do my best for the club and keep them in the Premier League. Next thing you know, he's down London in a Tottenham shirt, scoring against Preston. It's just mad. It's just mad how the transfer window can go. I mean, they had plenty of players turn them down, like Conor Gallagher, for example. They had a £45 million bid rejected. Conor Gallagher did not want to go to Everton. They had a guy who was linked to them who's gone now to Southampton. But it's just mad how Everton have completely fallen off the radar. It's just really, really, really strange. They were a really well-run club, but now look at them. They're a mess. They're an absolute mess. And I just don't understand where Everton will go now from here. They need a good run of results, and that starts at the weekend, they hope. It's against Arsenal. So they're hoping that the new manager bounce can come into play and help them, but overall I don't see anything positive for Everton fans at all. It's just all bad news for them all the time, and it's just a never-ending cycle of rubbish. But we roll on, and other January transfers that had a bit of a kick to them. Let's have a think. There's been quite a few. There's been quite a few names that really did tickle the mind a bit when it comes to like a move. I mean, look at the way that Liverpool have gone about their business. They haven't even bought anyone either. They've done no business, even though they need to do business because they are in a bit of trouble as well in terms of their overall Premier League position. Liverpool need a rebuild. They definitely need a rebuild. But who knows where that's going to come from, because Klopp, he just wants to stick with the same team. He doesn't seem to want to change anything. And will they get European football? Who knows? It's like you got fans of Chelsea basically saying, it's only halfway through the season, we're going to get top four, we're going to get this, that and the other. I mean, Chelsea have been really poor this season, and they haven't really lived up to the standards that Todd Bowley has set in terms of like, spending. They think that spending mass amount of money does guarantee instant success. It does not. It will take time for those players to gel to Graham Potter's philosophy and the way he wants to play. Graham Potter is a good manager, but will he be able to comprehend and be able to manage those egos within the club? I mean, it's a really daunting task for him, and I don't know. I don't know if they will finish top four. I don't think they will. My top four is looking like this, so I know Newcastle fans are probably going to... Well, I think they will finish top four, but I have had my reservations about them because they've gone and spent 45 million on Anthony Gordon, of all people. I mean, Anthony Gordon, 45 mil. Wow. I mean, if Anthony Gordon's worth 45 million, how much is Almiron worth? Literally, that is just mad. How you can spend 45 million on Anthony Gordon from a club that's in turmoil is just beyond me. That's just Everton. That's just the way Everton... Well, that's just the way Newcastle have seen it. But I think he'll be a success at Newcastle, Anthony Gordon. But he needs to hit the ground running straight away, definitely.
How do you choose between your children? They're bringing your personal vehicle around right now.
But my top four overall will be, if I was to put in order top four, I would probably say Man City top, Arsenal second, Man United third, Newcastle fourth. That's how I think the season will end. Because, I mean, I've said to some of my friends that Newcastle will have a bit of a tail off and they will fall off and drop out of the top four. But who would actually get in that top four? Will it be Spurs? If Newcastle do drop, will it be Spurs? Will it be Liverpool? Will it be Chelsea? That's the question that everyone will be asking. But the weekend starts here. Tonight, Chelsea versus Fulham. Get to see probably a few of the January signings in action. Not Enzo Fernandez, obviously, because I don't know whether he was... I don't think he was registered in time, because obviously they got it done way past the deadline, but they put the deal sheet in, so they got it done by then, so he'll probably be available next week. But overall, I'm happy with our January transfer business. I mean, I can't say the same for any other fans who are like up and down the country supporting their clubs and their January transfer dealings. I mean, look at Leeds. They bought Weston McKennie, quality signing, good central midfielder, another American. So Jesse Marsch bringing his stamp into the club and gives a different feel to the club as well, which is a good sign. I mean, it's like we've been saying in terms of like Mikel Arteta, you take your time, you develop the team that you want, that he wants, get the players that he wants, and puts his stamp on things, and that's exactly what happens. I mean, we've let Arteta take a load of time with it, and it's worked out. It's worked out to a T, and I'm happy with it. The fact that we gave Mikel all the time in the world, the fact that Edu, Vinay, the Cronkies have given Mikel his time to get his squad together, gel the players, make them into a force to be reckoned with. It's nice to see, because usually football, it's a very successful like business, because you've got to be successful. I mean, if you're not successful, if you're not doing your job properly, you usually end up with the sack. But Arteta could have been sacked years ago. He could have been sacked years ago, but we stuck by, we kept going, we kept fighting, and you reap the rewards that you get within that. And overall, you've got to say that Mikel, it has been a bit of a roller coaster for him. I mean, now look at him, he's top of the league, 5 points clear. And we start the weekend off in terms of Saturday against Everton, which I am looking forward to, because it will be a really tight game, because Sean Dyche, he's one of those managers that likes to keep it tight. Score prediction for the game, I'm going, I think it'd be a 2-1 Arsenal win. I think it'd be a 2-1 Arsenal win, personally. I don't think it'd be a massive win. If it's a massive win, I'll be really surprised, but Sean Dyche will want to keep it tight early on, try and frustrate Arsenal. So he's a really good manager in terms of that, keeping it tight, play a 4-4-2, maximise the midfield and such like, and try and withstand our onslaught. But overall, I think we'll be just that bit too strong for Everton. I think we'll beat them, but not by a massive score. Chelsea versus Fulham tonight. Score prediction for that, I think it'll be because Fulham did beat Chelsea at Craven Cottage last time out, and Joao Felix did get sent off on his debut, so anything can happen. Anything can happen. I think Chelsea will learn from their mistakes. They are at home. I think it'd be a 2-1 Chelsea win tonight. I think it'd be a 2-1 Chelsea win. Big game, live on Sunday, 4:30. Spurs taking on Manchester City. You saw what happened in the last game. They were 2-0 up. Those idiots from down the road were 2-0 up, and they threw it away. Literally just tossed it to them, gave it to Manchester City, just threw it away. I mean, they were in the ascendancy at half-time. Conte, I don't know what he said at half-time, but in the second half, they just absolutely bottled it and completely capitulated and just lost their head, literally. City just took over the game, completely onslaughted them, destroyed them. And, I mean, it is at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, but still, I think City will be just too strong for them. Haaland up front, De Bruyne in midfield. I mean, he's not been the same player this season, Kevin De Bruyne. He's been way off the pace. But overall, I think City will just be that bit too strong for Spurs, and I think they'll win comfortably by 3-1. Other games that are happening this weekend. Liverpool away at Wolves. Tough game to go to. They only just beat them in the Cup 1-0. So it is a hard place to go to, but I think Liverpool will get through it, and I think they'll win I think they'll win. Not comfortably, but I think it'll be a 2-1 Liverpool win. Now, my predicted lineup for the game, you'll probably see my Facebook post with the predicted lineup and score. I've already given my predicted score 2-1 to Arsenal. I think the lineup will be the same as it has been for the last couple of weeks. Goalkeeper Aaron Ramsdale. Letter right back there. Ben White. Centre back pairing of Saliba and Gabriel. Left back Zinchenko. Midfield three of Partey, Odegaard and Xhaka. And then down the middle, in terms of the front line, will be Saka, Martinelli, and Nketiah. It's good to see Jesus back in training, which is a nice thing. I'm happy about that. It's nice to see him back on the pitch after 8 weeks out, but he won't be back immediately. But I'm happy to see him back. Yeah, I think it'll be like I said, I think it'll be a tight game tomorrow at Goodison. And with the new manager bounce, you just got to be careful. And Everton will try to frustrate and dictate the play for most periods, but I think we'll just prove to be just that bit too strong. And we will take the W, hopefully. But you never know. You never know in football, anything can happen. And like I said, with the new manager bounce, it could be Everton get that momentum boost and maybe claim all 3 points, but like I said, I think we'll just prove to be that bit too strong and we will get the result. It's getting really tight now in terms of like the league and such like, because we're 5 points clear at the top, and no one in their right frame of mind would have expected to see Arsenal within the title race at this stage. I mean, I didn't expect to see us at this stage in the title race. We are in a title race, let's just be real about that. We are within a title race. But we need to withstand it and we need to maintain the momentum from beating United. I mean, yeah, we lost 1-0 in the Cup against Manchester City, but that's just by the by. We lost in the Cup, so what? But when we play them in the league, it'll probably be a different story. Completely different teams. 2 completely different teams overall. Well, actually, it won't be 2 completely different teams, because City near enough fielded their first strength 11, apart from the goalkeeper. So, we fielded, I think we made, were it 8 changes? I think it was like 6 or 7 or 8 changes I think we made in that game. But yeah, it was a pretty narrow 1-0 loss, and I was there as well. So overall, it hasn't been bad in terms of where we are in the league and all that, but I did not, like I said at the beginning of the season, you would not have even picked Arsenal to be anywhere near the Premier League title race. You'd have picked them to be in a top 4 race, yeah, don't get me wrong, but title race, it's just mad how we've literally turned the corner and gone full gun-ho at it. And I'm really happy with the progress that's been made and the progression that has come about. But at the same time, you've got to be cautious as well. You can't just expect to win the title. And I'm not expecting to win the title at all. But it's nice to be where we are. And it is really, really good. And I mean, yeah, we get criticised as fans for over-celebrating and such like wins. Very important wins as well coming to mind. Liverpool 3-2 at the Emirates, Tottenham 2-0 away, Man United 3-2 at home. I mean, the 90th minute winner from Nketiah literally had me in tears. I was literally in floods. As soon as that full-time whistle went, I was literally in floods of tears. For the moment that the referee blew for full-time, I had my shirt over my face and I was crying my eyes out, because it's just so beautiful to see my club doing so well within a season, because I've not seen it. I've seen it before, but I've seen my team performing at the highest level and then just dropping off in certain stages at the end of the campaign, close to the end of the campaign usually. But it's nice to see that we've maintained our position for a longer period of time. But I do expect us to drop off, like have a little bit of a dip at a point. But it'd be nice to keep up the momentum and actually maintain the momentum that we've set for ourselves this season. Like I said, overall I am happy with our January dealings. I mean, yeah, like I said, we didn't get the names that we wanted the first time, the Plan A's, like your Caicedos and your Felixes and your Mudryk and all those players, but we did get our alternatives, which is better than nothing. And that's exactly what you want in football. You need Plan Bs and alternatives, and that's exactly what happened. It's how it goes in football. But overall, can't complain really. Can't complain at all. Just checking my syllab. Don't think it'll be full, so I'll probably leave it till later. Won't be able to start it till later, probably.
Good to see you.
Yeah, it's not quite full yet, but I will buy some supplies for when I come back on later. So guys, if you do enjoy the video, you know what to do by now. Smash a like for me, hit the subscribe button for more content. Until next time guys, we'll see you later.